what are some close encounters that you've had with animals out there, man? That almost sometimes you're like, oh,
Oh, man.
that gets that childhood engine, like, just really revs it into the red area.
I'm not an adrenaline junkie, or at least I like to pretend I'm not,
Okay.
right? But I get that rush when something like that happens. Literally, the hippo thing, I had a hippo charge me out of the water there that was crazy and everybody scrambled. I had an instance where one of the craziest ones, I never forget, the one that always comes to the top of my mind. We were in Australia and we were interviewing people in this Aboriginal village, like way up north in far north Queensland. And as we're talking to people, I hear people screaming, shouting, "Ah!" And I look over and there's this guy holding a cinder block over his head like this, and he's about to throw it. And I'm like, wait. And I run over, and there's a coastal taipan, which is one of the most venomous snakes in the world, big brown snake. And he's about to smash it with this rock. And I'm like, wait, I'll catch it and move it for you. This thing right here. And it's a big one. It's like 5-6 feet long. And so this Aboriginal guy's about to smash it. I'm like, wait, like I'll catch it and move it for you. And he's like, okay, whatever. And the snake disappears under the house, right? There's like a house on like kind of like Louisiana where they elevate the houses a little bit, down south there.
Satan's right under him.
Yeah, exactly. And so there's, they're up on like cinder blocks or posts or whatever.
Dude, that makes me so scared, a snake under the house.
So the snake disappears under the house, and the guy's like kind of mad at me. He's like, what the fuck, man? I could have killed the snake. Now it's in the neighborhood, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, let me handle it. Like, I'll take care of it. I'm sorry. And it all happened really quick. So I grab my flashlight and I grab my snake hook or whatever, and I go looking for the snake. And my camera guys are filming. We're filming a show of Extinct or Alive, which is a show I did on Animal Planet a while ago.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we're going to get into that in a minute, actually.
Yeah. And my camera guys are filming. I look from one side of the house. Not yet, but I'm looking. I'm like crouched down looking, and I see the snake in like the far back corner. And I'm like, oh, he's right there by the stairs. Come with me. Like, we'll go get him. So I grab my light and I jog around the side of the house, and I stick my head through the like slats in the stairs. They're like this far apart, right? So I can just kind of wiggle my head and shoulders in. And I know the snake's over here because I've just seen him from the other side of under the house. I'm like, he's right over here. So I wiggle in, I turn my light on, my headlamp, whatever it was, and I turn to the side, and I'm like, fuck, where's that snake? I can't see him. And all of a sudden, I just feel like this on the back of my neck. No. The snake has gone around to the other side. And he's moving around. These snakes are fast. And he's literally licks the side of my neck. You know how snakes stick their tongue out like that?
Yeah.
And then he starts crawling over my neck, and I just freeze. And like, you see the hair on my arms right now. Like, it rattled me. Because one bite, I was like 14 hours from a hospital, from one of the most venomous snakes in the world, a relatively aggressive snake, and I just freeze. I just stop moving.
One bite, everybody knows the rules.
That's right. That's right. Thanks, Dave. So I freeze while the snake fully slithers up over my neck and then comes and coils up like 3 feet from my head over here, and then I like slowly back out. We ended up catching him 10, 15 minutes later, moving it, blah, blah, blah. But that moment where the snake like licked my neck right behind my ear there. And then I started to feel like the underside of his mouth go on my neck. I was like, that's it. Like, I can't move. I can't do anything. I'm dead. Like, it's going to realize it's sitting on top of a warm human and that it's been chasing him and just go gunk. And that's it. I'm finished. I was the most rattled I think I've ever been coming out of that. Yeah. I was just so like on edge while that snake was crawling over me.
Well, as you're saying that, I can feel my glands almost like, just like
tighten up. Yeah.
Yes.
Dude, it was a horrible, horrible feeling. And that's my fault.
You know what it is, and it's so, the fact that it's something so subtle, it's almost like a Dracula just being right there.
And the hardest part was my stomach dropped, and your instinct is to like pull out, like panic immediately, get away. And if I had done that, if I had even jolted, I think it would have just been boop, and so I just had to try. Like, it felt like 10 minutes, and it was probably 10 seconds that it went over my neck for. Yeah. But I was just sitting there like, please, 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 please. And then it went over. It was crazy, man. It was a terrible, terrible feeling. And it was very like naive of me to go in and just stick my head in and like be like, I'll be your hero, I'll help. It was stupid, It was just stupid. And I learned from that experience, so much so that I've done it again a dozen times. But like, I try not to be that stupid anymore, Yeah,
it's funny how sometimes ego and even knowledge can become a little bit of ego. Mm-hmm. Like, enough knowledge makes you think confident. Confidence can just teeter over the edge of wisdom in a way.
Totally.
The fulcrum of that is so fine-tuned that, yes, it's almost like when you're like, I know what I'm doing, and then immediately you get checked by existence.
Well, confidence is complacency, right? So you're like, I got this, step aside. That means I'm complacent. If I even have that attitude going into it, it means I'm not fully focused, right? Like, and that Time and time again, every narrow miss I've ever had, which is not that many, but there's been a few, is because first of all, I've put myself in that scenario. It's not the animal's fault, right? This wasn't the snake's fault that I stuck my head under the house. But it's always because I'm overly confident to the point of being complacent. Like, yeah, I can stick my head in here. I'll find the snake. It's stupid.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, let me show. Like, it's not even like let me show off, but there's a part of you that gets so comfortable that it almost just shows off because it's.
Well, can I show you something?
Yeah.
Do you mind? Sorry to ask you to do this. Do you mind pulling up the last YouTube video I just posted on my YouTube channel? I don't want to dogleg us too long, but I'll show you where the snake almost got me recently. And again, it's a result of it's the one with that silly crocodile thing. Yeah, right near the end, maybe the last 2 or 3 minutes there. Yeah, right here. So look, I'm holding this snake. This is a fertilance, the deadliest snake in the Americas, responsible for more deaths than any other snake in the Americas.
Now, where did you find this at, brother?
Costa Rica.
Ooh.
Yeah. And so I'm holding this snake.
And this is the deadliest snake in South America?
In the Americas, total. Across all Canada, United States, South America, Central America.
Big snake, too.
Huge one. Biggest one I've ever seen. And for no reason at all, because it's a stupid YouTube video, he's peeing on me, I'm like, I'm going to pin it and hold it behind the head. Now watch here, I'm holding it and I'm showing off, like we just talked about, telling the camera all about, this is this deadly snake and this many people a year die from it and you got to be careful because of how they hide, blah, 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 blah. And I start to loosen my grip here. See how I'm looking to the side and I'm jabbering to the camera? So my grip's starting to loosen. Now watch what the snake does when he feels my grip loosen. Coming in the next few seconds. I don't want to bore you, but
you can almost see him.
He's side-eyeing me right now. And this is complacency because I'm busy presenting to a camera like an idiot, talking about how deadly the snake is, and I'm adjusting my grip. I'm not paying attention. Here it comes any second here. Look at that. So he starts to open his mouth. Oh! See how close that is? That was me. Boots are up.
Dude, I'm ready for the coffin.
Look at that. Look at that. Oh, that is so close to my hand with that fang. Those fangs are 2.5 inches long. So he was maybe 1/4 of an inch from getting me, and that would have been my hand gone.
Play that one more time. Play that strike.
There's that slow-mo strike just a few seconds back here. Look at this. Boom.
And what method did he use to be able to make himself have the torque to do that?
But so if I had been holding the snake perfectly, he couldn't have done that.
Right.
But I'd been holding him for 2 or 3 minutes, talking to the camera, showing off because it's stupid YouTube.
Right.
And I had loosened my grip and slowly slipped down, so much so that he had leverage in his neck. So that was the problem. It's my fault.
His ground game was better.
His ground game was strong. He would have whooped me. Yeah, and it was close, man. If I hadn't dropped him right there, I'm talking another half second, and that would have been just one nick, one fang into the hand. That's definitely the finger gone, maybe my hand,
When a snake bite happens, and especially when it's one that's as venomous as this one you're saying?
Yeah, highly venomous.
How quickly can someone really lose like an appendage or something from that or potentially die? Like how real is that?
Well, it all depends, right? It's like saying what happens if I get stung by a bee? Well, are you allergic to a bee? How much venom did the bee put in you?
Got it.
If you and I get stung by a bee, we're going to react completely differently, right? My hand might swell up like a balloon. You might have a tiny little mosquito bite itch. So every human body responds differently to venom. And then there are multiple types of venom. And then there are cocktails of venom. So there's cytotoxic, chemotoxic, and neurotoxic, like brain, location, organ failure, different. And then there's cocktails. So some snakes have a cocktail of like location venom and organ venom, and some have respiratory venom. And so it's just crazy. That's why anti-venom's such a difficult thing, because there's so many different kinds of snakes, so many different cocktails of venom. People all react differently to it. An allergy to venom means you're going to die almost no matter what. Like it's a crazy variable of things. Yeah.
Wow.
But in that case, I would have been in big trouble. Yeah.
God, dude.
So don't do that. When we go back to the cool animal stuff, don't do that stuff. Yeah.
Are there moments where you feel like some animals are of God and some animals are of Satan? Do you ever feel like that?
Hippos are of Satan.
Really?
They're such angry freaking animals. And there's a few animals like that, like cassowaries, if you know what they are, big vulture, velociraptor looking birds. There's a few animals that just... I'm not very religious, so I'm using that term as jokingly, but there are some animals that just have terrible attitudes. Scroll down real quick. Check out that one where he's kicking, I saw it a second ago, he's kicking the guy's board. Like, look at that. These things just come at you. They've got these talons, this head. Hippos are the same. If a hippo sees you, it's gonna charge. A Cape buffalo, like in Africa, they call them the Black Death, because when they smell you or see you, they don't think about running, they just think about charging. And it's just, some animals just have this attitude, and I don't think it's an ethereal thing. I think it's that hippos and Cape buffalo and cassowaries, they've grown up with tons of predators. Historically, they've been hunted, so they're defensive instead of their fight or flight is just a fight response.
Got it.
Do you know what I mean? Like,
Right,
that's
they don't
the way
have
to
any other
explain
choice,
it.
right.
Yeah, and that is just scary to work with those animals, because at any given time they're going to turn on you versus run away from you. Yeah.